just get it. Just get her going. Just get her going.
Here we go, boys and girls. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is very special. It's a very special day. We're enjoying apple juice.
Couple of apple juices.
Apple cider. It's the fall season.
Apple cider, exactly. It's fresh. Actually, honestly, like you can do some real good apple picking in these parts.
I bet you can.
Yeah.
We're in Toronto.
We are in Toronto.
Yeah, it's almost pronounced with like a CH. Toronto.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody in our comments was complaining about the way I pronounced Toronto.
It's Toronto.
Because they thought that they thought I was saying like Toronto like the team, like Toronto like this city, but I'm like, no. I'm not going to say Taranto. I'm going to say Toronto for the team and Toronto for this here city.
Yeah, it has two T's but no T's.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty special. So we're in the Great White North. I'm Rob St. Clair. That's Everett Delorme. This is the 9x9. It's very special. We're in person. We're excited about it.
Yes.
I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to be in your city. We're at Everett's apartment.
We are. So this is my living room.
Hey, one of your boys from Joao Pessoa, who probably hung out with you last week.
Bruno from Manchatao. Big shout out to Bruno and Manchatao from Joao Pessoa. I was in Joao Pessoa for the Elite 16 a couple weeks ago, and it was magical. Manchatao is actually a really big. It's one of the biggest volleyball channels in Brazil. I know they have over 40,000 followers on TikTok, and they make some really good content. Actually, one of their top viewed videos, I think, is they do a sit-down interview with like Serginho.
I saw a clip of Serginho the other day playing foot volley on the beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did.
Maybe he'll be in Rio when I go down there next week. But
so.
Yeah, big shout out to Bruno and Leo from Manchatao and Joao Pessoa. Just running the show. They're like the Everett and Rob of Brazil.
Love it. Cheers to you guys. Thank you for watching. Thank you all for watching. This is a special episode. I mean, we just did a show on Wednesday.
We did.
So, relatively recently, there's still a lot to talk about. We're still going to do the normal wraparound of all European club volleyball. But Everett, we got real big news to talk about first.
Yes. Which way are we going with this big news?
My home country's new national team head
that
coach.
way we're going. Yeah.
Yeah. So somebody's asking about the Loyola job, and maybe I could touch on that at the end. But first and foremost, because we'll clip this out and post it as its own video, we now know who the new head coach of the United States men's national team is going to be. And it's the previous coach of the United States women's national team, none other than the GOAT player, Karch Kiraly himself.
Yeah, that's we talked to John Speraw over there, and you guys can find that interview over on the Volleyball World YouTube.
And the one that we both did a few weeks ago?
Yeah,
or
the one that we did together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And he told us that, that was going to be one of the first big jobs that he had to do as being the CEO of USA Volleyball, and he wasted no time. Went for what was maybe the obvious choice, but obvious because it's probably the right choice. Karch's pedigree and everything that he's done with the women's team, they've gone to 3 straight medal matches at the Olympics under his tutelage, like a gold and like a silver. And in many ways, you could look at this team that was this year, and none of you and I didn't expect that.
That was a huge overachievement.
Yeah,
huge.
Based off everything that they had done before that. So he's consistently led this team to greatness. And let's be honest, LA will be 42 years after his first triumph in LA in '84.
In LA. Yep.
So there's a lot of parallels there, but Karch is the real Thanos of volleyball, and he's just trying to collect them all at this point.
That's a lot of infinity stones. He's got indoor Olympic gold as a player, beach Olympic gold as a player, right? 2 and 1, and then indoor Olympic gold as a women's head coach, and now he could potentially get one as a men's head coach if the perfect thing happens, in my opinion, because obviously that's what I'm rooting for. I kind of agree with you. I think it is the logical choice, and you had the chance to talk to John Speraw just this week after the news broke.
Yeah, on Friday.
On Friday. So that was, I think the news broke on Thursday.
Yeah, news broke Thursday, and luckily, we've gotten to have a pretty good relationship with Speraw.
Yeah.
And I felt real comfortable just to message him, and he was like, "Yep, absolutely." And he messaged me pretty late because he's in Colorado late in the night. I woke up, saw it, and I mean, he did an interview with me at like 7:30 a.m. his time before going to a budget meeting for USAV.
Trooper.
So, I think there's one thing that you're going to be able to say about this John Speraw tenure with USAV is that it's going to be a transparent one.
Love it.
And he's been very vocal to us. You know, he said that when we spoke to him, and it was once again, but like, you know, I want to continue these like open channels, and it was really awesome. But yeah, it was in the way that he said, and I don't want to give away too many things because we're going to be releasing this stuff through the Volleyball World channels over the next little bit. But it's a no-brainer to offer that job to Karch first, right?
I completely agree with that. Just like organizational structure wise, you have that guy in your organization already. At least offer it to him, and then 100%. And then go from there. If he wants to stay on the women's side, or if he wants to step away and do something else. But like, he's the greatest male volleyball player probably of all time. He knows only Olympic success. He basically wrote the book on Olympic success. Why not at least offer him the job? So I agree with that part of it. It's very interesting dynamic too. Like Speraw and Karch were colleagues.
Yes,
they were like two sides of the same coin, and now all of a sudden Speraw is technically Karai's boss.
I don't think Speraw sees it that way.
I don't think he does either, but technically that is the case. So that dynamic is interesting, but like it's an awesome opportunity just for the building of the program, for the way that Speraw now in the CEO role, the way that they can build this thing so collaboratively, and the relationship that can be created between national team and federation that in both of our experience previously just really didn't exist.
Yeah, that's going to be very interesting to see. You know, from our understanding too, that the national teams under the USAV kind of work within their own silo, and kind of do their own thing. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see. I just read Peter's comment.
Classic.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see like how that goes, and who knows, maybe we'll get a chance to chat with Karch real soon.
That would be awesome. I mean, so from a volleyball like X's and O's coaching of the USA men's national team perspective, I think there's a lot to get into with that fit, because and a lot of people I've seen around American volleyball have already talked about this. The way that Karch coached the women the last at least 8 years, and really the past 3 whole quads, that coaching style is not going to work on the men's side.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see.
I guess,
right? It's also too that like Karch carries this pedigree with him that he may be able to demand things that others necessarily can't. Right? Because you're not going to turn around and tell Karch, no.
Nope.
You don't know what you're talking about. You've just won literally everything. You've won at every level. You have built this game on your back in so many ways, and all you continue to do is just turn around and give back to it. So maybe I think there's definitely that part of the dynamic, but like I think Karch is really, really smart. You know, I think he knows though that I think he's one of those few people who was also like the really good athlete and the really good competitor, but also understands maybe that interpersonal side of things to a certain extent.
Which sometimes is pretty rare. I mean, a lot of unbelievable like all-time great athletes do not make good coaches because the game comes so easily to them that teaching it and building around that is difficult for them, because you're like, oh well, you just do it, like,
100%.
just do it naturally, which Karch could. But the way that we saw him construct that women's national team program was built over years and years and years with so much intention.
Yeah.
And even though I think the style of coaching the men is going to need to be different, he still has the ability and the track record of building up a program with intention. And if anybody, so like you and I have both had the chance to talk to Karch for the last couple of years, right? Like you interviewed him in Quebec City, and I interviewed him in Arlington this year, and then just all of his interfacing with the media. On the women's side, he's very steady, very calculated, very intentional, very like level-headed. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. He's very it was like very, very steady, and that was the way that he built the program. It was the way that he always acted. I and many others in American volleyball don't think that will work quite as well on the men's side, But those people who are concerned about that probably don't really remember how Karch was as a player. People don't remember the absolute firecracker that Karch Kiraly was as a player. That competitive fire is still in there. That like outward display of emotion is still in there.
And look at the thumbnail of this video, and you can still we've still seen that it's on the sideline. So, but I'm just very interested because this American team could be a lot of different things. There's a lot of different things that could happen with this American men's program over the next 4 years, and not only is there going to need to be a youth movement of sorts, and definitely in some ways.
For the first 2 years at the very least.
But, and I'm going to say this as an outsider's perspective, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but we're not exactly looking at like the best youth movement of youth coming out of the NCAA ever in the history of the USA Volleyball.
Definitely
right?
not, which kind of was the case at the beginning of John Spera's tenure.
100%.
We got a lot of really good young talent in the 2015 ballpark.
And that's what this is like. This team is built upon that.
Correct.
Right. That's the Thomas Jayskis, the Taylor Sanders, the
Aaron Russell, Micah Christensen. Yeah.
All of Taylor Averill, all of those guys. And let's be honest, and we've talked about it before, that same quality of athlete isn't necessarily coming out as American athletes out of the NCAA right now. They are coming, a lot of good foreigners, but it's not necessarily coming in the form of Americans. So one of the things that John and I talked about in our chat was there's a really big surge right now with boys volleyball in the United States, and building it at the high school level and building it at the club level. First Point Foundation, we've talked about a lot about them and stuff like that. How does Karch coaching that team and the marketability of it affect boys volleyball in the United States? And that's, one of the things you're going to have to wait for the conversation to John Spera to, little fancy plug there.
Yeah, nice tease. That was excellent. Yeah, that's awesome question. And if USA Volleyball has their priorities in order, what they would do is promote the hell out of Karch Kiraly. Find clips of Karch Kiraly as a player. Create the superstar aura around Karch Kiraly, the player, to all those new boys volleyball athletes who probably haven't heard of the guy before. And hopefully over the next 4 years, I think a major goal of USA Volleyball going through LA, and there are many, is turn Karch Kiraly into a celebrity. Turn him into a celebrity to a potentially new audience, and that could reap benefits for the national team 15 years from now. Yeah. But the first 4 years, I think there are a lot of things that have to happen. But one thing that I really like is that now CEO John Spera, who obviously is the outgoing men's national team coach, and Karch Kiraly can be in complete sync with the strategy for the quad. The quad's really unique for us. We don't have to worry about qualifying. We should prioritize getting youth in, and we have the luxury of being able to do so without having to worry about the results or dropping in the rankings because we're hosting the Olympics. So Karch and John can work on that plan for the next 4 years in totally hand in hand, and building a relationship between federation and team, like I said, that can support and build upon existing success and build for more Olympic success, whereas before the national team really just kind of operated in its own little bubble.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to see if that actually happens, right?
We will.
There's a lot of things, and the next step for Mr. John Spera is
Is that a Ben Patch question? Or?
Well, no. Alex also just messaged, and he said, "W2F Rob's in Toronto."
what's up, Alex? Saw Marcus in the chat as well.
The next big thing is the women's team head coach.
Wanted to talk about that too,
but it seemed that, and I agree with him, that it seemed really important to find the men's team head coach really quickly. And that same urgency, for whatever reason, just isn't on the women's side. And I think on the women's side, maybe you can take your time to assess the situation and kind of see what's happening on that, and see what's kind of out there, because I think there's so many opportunities both within the program. And I did ask John that if there was any international considerations, which there was, apparently.
Interesting.
and which is generally different for the United States. You guys don't really generally go outside. You're pretty cocky, and think you don't know what's best. But it kind of works out for you, so you can't really say anything about it. But yeah, so that process I think for the women is going to go a lot slower, and I agree. I think we're going to see that maybe in a few more months, like leading into the new year. Once VNL is kind of announced, I would expect to see it maybe February, March.
Yeah. So, and I totally agree with you. I don't think that timeline is because of a lack of priority. I think it's just because of the market and the calendar of volleyball
and the importance of that job.
The NCAA season ends in early December.
Yeah.
Then in early December, there's this annual massive coaches convention, the ABCA convention, which is in conjunction with the NCAA Women's Final Four, where every volleyball coach in the country shows up, and it's basically a big, massive networking event. Like, so many coaching careers get made or changed, or job offers. The convention is a massive deal for the women's volleyball coaching industry.
Yeah,
and I'm sure that there are a lot of very qualified people that are on USA Volleyball's radar to potentially take the head women's job that are currently coaching in the NCAA. It's in the middle of the NCAA season right now. It would be irresponsible to hire somebody now for the women's job before you can do your due diligence on NCAA coaches after their season is over.
100%. Right? Because it's probably not only a head coaching change, but it's probably a completely, we'll have to see how much overhaul is within the system.
It's probably going to be a lot on both sides.
100%.
And another great opportunity is with John now at the head of the organization to hire the two new head coaches and link them more directly to the youth development systems, and just like figure out plans for different time periods of how to build both of those programs for success. But yeah, I'm really curious about the staff that Karch is going to hire for the men. Because honestly, right now, it's kind of a new era for both teams. There's going to be a lot of turnover in players for both teams. I think now it makes some sense to have new people leading both programs, but there's going to be turnover in a lot of ways. Kind of like I've been saying since even before John took the CEO job, was that we need to figure out the national team head coaches, and then next we need to kind of get a download of which of our players are retiring for good, which of our players are taking a couple years off, and which of our players are going to continue playing this whole quad that we can build upon. All those coaches are going to need to be able to synthesize all those pieces to put it all together. There's going to be a lot of change.
I also wish we just didn't work in these quads. I wish we just like grip it and rip it at all times, like
in our case, because we're hosting the Olympics, I think it's unique.
True. It is. And it is like the potential. Like, if Karch goes and wins Olympic gold with the USA men in LA, like that's like Disney's like, hello USA Volleyball. How do we license this story?
The storyline,
right? Like that is literally like Hollywood is like, okay,
straight up,
let's go.
Happening in
like,
Hollywood's backyard,
and too that if it starts happening, and like we're way ahead of this. We're four years ahead of this, but like the NBC train would just start a chugga 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 chugga.
Finally, men's volleyball is marketable. Check out this story. Yeah,
we'll see. There's a lot there. But I'm going to be very interested to see. We need to do a check-in with Eric. We need to go.
So Eric texted me on Thursday. It was interesting because we did the show on Wednesday.
Yeah.
I was in a hotel room in Atlanta, near Atlanta, and then on Thursday I was literally walking around the college campus of the University of Georgia.
Yeah.
I had time to kill that day. I was walking around on campus. I discovered that there is absolutely no barrier whatsoever between me and walking onto their football field. So I did that.
Nice.
It was cool. I just walked right into the football stadium. And while I was sitting on a bleacher in the University of Georgia's football stadium, I got a text from Eric Shoji that said, heads up, they said that USA Volleyball is going to be announcing the new head coach today. And I was like,
humble brag over here.
I was like that's ridiculous. I said, don't tell me who it is, but are you excited about it? And he said, yes, absolutely. And then the news came out a couple hours later, and
so yeah, I think we need to get Eric on the show here, touch base. If he wants to bring the Champions League trophy, he can.
Which one? All three of them?
Yeah, all three. Yeah, and we'll just ask him about it, because that's going to be like, once again, it's Karch.
Karch is Karch.
It's Karch.
Yeah,
it's Karch. Like, you know, I did get the chance to meet Jiba when I was in Brazil, so I've met basically the two goats.
Yeah. Different eras.
Different eras.
Karch did it on the beach, though, for the record. Jiba has 1 Olympic gold or 2?
One. Just Athens.
Yeah, just 04. Because he wasn't on the team in 16. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Legends.
But legends. All right. On to the. Do we want to move on here?
I think so.
Okay.
That's Team USA. If and when we learn anything about the women's hire, we'll obviously talk about it, and then keep an eye out on the Volleyball World channel for your interview with Spera post Karch hire.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be on the YouTube. We're still discussing that and figuring that out, but there's definitely going to be clips posted on the Volleyball World USA Instagram.
Love it.
Yes.
All right. Before we move on, Everett, it's up to you.
Might as well.
Do we want to tell people kind of what's going on with us lately?
I feel like I can say things.
Yeah,
I feel like you. Yeah, you're still in limbo.
I'm still in limbo. So earlier this summer we recorded a video. It was in Ottawa, or was it in Texas?
It was in Ottawa.
It had been in Ottawa.
It wasn't when we were in Texas, because we were staying with your lovely friends.
That's right. Shout out to Josh and Sarah. They got engaged, by the way. Good for them.
Congrats, Josh and Sarah.
Our hosts in Texas. So when we were in Ottawa earlier this summer, we recorded a video because a lot of things were happening to us at that point. And then obviously,
which is like, a lot of things have happened since then.
Yes, they have. Then obviously you all were with us for the Olympics. You saw all of our Olympics coverage and 6 major videos on Volleyball World's YouTube channel. So it's no secret really that we've been in a lot of communication with Volleyball World and have been working together on a lot of things. But there's been even more going on in the background.
Yeah,
the work is definitely not done.
Oh no, it's basically just started, and I mean it's happening in a few different ways. And I guess we'll just say it like this: I am actually now a full-time employee of Volleyball World, working on their content and social team, but also on the beach team. So that's why I've been going on to these beach events. I'll be leaving again on Thursday to go down to Rio, which is crazy. I get to go cover beach. Getting to go cover beach volleyball in Brazil is really special, which is dope. But I think yes, we work for Volleyball World. I work for Volleyball World now. We're working on it. It's a work in progress.
I have done some work for Volleyball World.
Yes,
I do not currently work for Volleyball World, but that is the long-term goal.
It's in the works. Essentially, one thing that I think is really important for us to just mention is that they're not unaware of how they weren't unaware of how we've spoken about them in the past, or how things operate over here on Volleyball Source, and they still came to us, and they still reached out to us and said that we hear you and we want to work with you. And that right now, and having now literally being on the inside of it, and I have been amongst the boomers in the trench coats, that there has been a lot of change within that organization over the past year and a half.
Such a good way.
And
such a good way.
They're reaching out to us because they've kind of heard us in terms, and that they agree, and that they're reaching out to us to help be part of that change.
That's what made me the most happy about getting connected with them earlier this year, is that, for one, it was insane to learn that we basically were educating the entire Volleyball World and FIVB organizations about their own sport. They learned basically everything they know about volleyball from our show, which is awesome.
I mean, that's one person.
That was awesome. But then the even better part was that even as much as we have talked poorly about Volleyball World over the years and some of the choices they've made, some of the things that they've done, the people at Volleyball World that got in touch with us correctly identified that we were saying all that because we wanted to be a part of the solution to it.
Yeah.
That we weren't just like spouting nonsense, like just being mean to them and talking trash. We wanted to be a part of the solution, and they've identified that. They love the way that we talk about the game. They love the way that we communicate it to people, and we have a lot of good ideas about things that we can do together in the near and distant future.
And it's also like one of the biggest resources that we have is honestly you guys. It's honestly the community that we have.
The community is a weapon, according to Volleyball World.
Yes. Via like Volleyball World, like via the YouTube and the Discord. Like I'm already seeing people in the chat being like, can you tell them to fix this? Can you tell them to fix this?
The
like,
answer is yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if you guys, like especially as the consumers of VBTV, the consumers of Volleyball World content, the consumers of everything, like that's why like you guys are so important and to us, because it's literally like when they want to know something, we turn around and ask you guys, right? Like, yeah, like if there is stuff going through like that with like stuff with the player, I know exactly who to go to that and to be like, hey, and like I literally have this coming up on my schedule. Like there's gonna be things where like, as someone who spends so much time on VBTV, these are my issues with the player, right? These are my issues, and like we have that ability to like firsthand go in and do that. But also one thing to note that's super important is that Volleyball Source and all of its entities remain Volleyball Source and all of its entities, and are in no way in any shape owned or influenced by Volleyball World.
Absolutely, and that will always be the case.
Yes.
Volleyball World has no control whatsoever about Volleyball Source. They don't want us to change anything about the way that we do this show.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that.
Yeah. We will see about that. But like the 9x9 is going to stay the 9x9. We're not going to change it. We're not going to do. Even if it changes forms, or like if we choose to do more things or different things like creatively on our channel is our channel and ours alone.
Yes,
and that will always be the case. So community, you do not have to worry about us selling out or changing anything that we're doing, even though we are getting in positions to have a greater impact in the sport.
Yeah.
So I think all this is good. This is all good.
I think we're going to be in a greater position to understand holistically on every level what's happening. And we're also going to have more of a chance to influence that. And that's kind of I wouldn't have said yes to anything of all of this if they weren't giving us the opportunity. Like I didn't want to come in and just be a grunt and just be like another employee for them. And
we wanted to make a difference.
Yeah, for sure. And not to say that anyone is, and I think I've been pleasantly surprised about the people that I've met so far within the organization. And I think that there's been a lot of turnover as of in the past few years in terms of like getting just people aligned on where they want to go. And I can honestly say that in like now this is like going into year 15 for me of doing work in volleyball. And that's since working in Volleyball Canada. It's not even like working in retail before that. This is probably the most excited I've been about the direction of the sport is going. And like, if you don't believe me, and if you're not a beach fan, like go to Beach Volleyball World on to Instagram and on YouTube, and they're doing the stuff that we're doing there. Go listen to the broadcasts and see that the broadcasts are being shown from the baseline.
It's better.
That there's like there's two commentators who are former and current athletes who know the game and know the players, and they have me
Travis
there.
And Kyle, yeah.
Travis and Kyle.
Awesome.
Like, just look at the investments that Volleyball World has been doing on the beach side, and I guarantee you're going to be able to see that kind of stuff on the indoor side moving forward. You guys have to know that like if we're sitting here actually saying that they're doing good stuff after all the shit that we've talked,
they're doing good stuff.
They're doing good stuff. Now, there's a lot of ways to go. A
lot to do and a lot of time that it's going to take. So be
100%.
patient. We keep telling ourselves to be patient.
Trust me, yeah.
Myself especially, but be patient. There are good things happening, and it's awesome to be a small part of that and to have the direct line to you all who we think are the most active and knowledgeable volleyball fans on the planet, and your opinion matters. So we are only gonna communicate with you more as we get more involved, which is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, like literally now my job is to sit and watch volleyball amongst other things, and yeah, like we're going to be able to use.
I'll turn your mic down a little bit, Everett, if people are complaining about it. There we go.
Shoot, you know why? It's because there's a volume button on the bottom here, and I keep flicking it. I apologize.
Hey, our production quality is not going anywhere on this channel.
No.
So that's our spiel about that. It felt right to tell you guys about that when we're here in person. It's great. This is all really good stuff. I am thrilled for Everett, especially getting to do all this beach stuff.
It's doing all the beach stuff, but just being on like that level as they're trying to like build it back up has been really cool.
And just from your feedback of how much good work they're doing on the beach side that we know will translate to indoor sooner or later. It's just big. There's a lot going on. So yeah, we'll keep you updated as major things go on. But thank you for being a great community, and we'll continue to interface with you a lot, including through this show and
hopefully others.
Yes.
Yeah. Just we're waiting on some things.
A lot of people asking about commentary. We can tell them that's a thing that we're waiting on. We're trying to figure it out.
Yeah. Once again, it's been a good process overall with Volleyball World, but not overall painless.
No.
As one of us is making an announcement and now the other, but we're getting there. We're getting there. And I'm just saying that like you guys will be the first to know about a lot of shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, yeah.
So stick around. You're in the right place. And again, join the Volleyball Source Discord, because that community is seriously, Volleyball World quote says the Discord is a weapon. That community is so important and so useful, and Volleyball World sees its value. So if you're listening to this and you're not in there, get in there. The link's in the description. You want to talk ball?
Yeah. We're 45 minutes into this half an hour into this episode, and we've not talked about any current ball.
Oh, Karch was big news. We had to start with that. Let's do it. Let's talk ball. There's some stuff in Europe over the last 5 days.
Berkay just showed up. What did I miss?
Berkay, you'll have to rewind. The chat, catch our good buddy Berkay up to speed. Let's talk ball. Can we start with the heavyweight battle in the Superlega?
Yes, let's go to the heavyweight battle in the Superlega. That if you watch the English broadcast of this match, did not seem like a heavyweight battle of the Superlega.
Yikes. Of all bad commentary products VBTV has ever put forth, that one is on the Mount Rushmore of the worst.
That one was really painful to watch. I know that the chat on the Discord was kind of going off. Don't
worry, it's been noticed.
It's kind of been going off as well. But man, Perugia. This team, even without Gianelli, went out there and really took care of business. And
they looked good. They looked really good in doing so. To not have your starting setter, to have a basically little Spertoli. Like if Acquarone is like poor man's Spertoli.
Yeah, no, it was a poor man's Acquarone
then
for sure.
Francesco Zoppolari is poor man's Acquarone, and Perugia got it done anyway for 3 points. Which is crazy. And Ole Plotnitsky, dude. Ole Plotnitsky, 28 points on 21 for 45 attacking, 4 aces and 3 blocks.
There was just certain
Big
points,
time.
like especially later in the match, where it was just like, just give it to Plotnitsky. Just give it. Just he's in his bag today. Just let him ride.
Awesome. And kind of like we talked about last week, the luxury that it must be to have 3 world-class outside hitters like that is insane.
Yeah, like you've got Plotnitsky and Ishikawa out there, and you can go to Semeniuk on the bench.
Semeniuk started and wasn't good.
Yeah, no, he wasn't great.
And Ishikawa came in and was awesome. Definitely not the volume or the impact of Ole, but that is Perugia flexing their Perugia muscles that only Perugia has.
Yeah, and This is now 2 matches that they've really dominated Trentino in early here. Or
Super Cup was a good 5-setter. Perugia won, and they've overpowered them down the stretch. But yeah, Perugia's 2-0 on the season series, and like it's very clear at this point in Italy that there are those 2 teams, and then everybody else.
But even then, like Trento, like this was without Gianelli,
right?
And you can make the argument that it was without Rich Licky on the other side, but that's not the same level of difference between Gianelli and whoever that backup setter is. I can't even remember his name.
Zopolari, yeah. Tricycle Man actually came in and scored, 2 points? Whatever. Gabi Garcia wasn't bad, 14 for 26, 6 errors. Micheletto wasn't bad, did get ace 4 times. Lavia was good, 10 for 19. But
they just weren't... I think you're starting to see that coaching difference in this matchup starting to come into where that like Trento, their game hasn't really changed and evolved all that much. And Perugia has this ability to be so dynamic in the way that they play, and they can give you different looks based off of their roster. And they just walk with that like supreme confidence too. Yeah. Like they just know that they've got multiple guys who can put you down. Like you look at if they're in system and they've got Bentara, Plotnitsky, Semeniuk, or Ishikawa. Bentara scored 21.
He was 6 stuff blocks, which is crazy.
Which is absolutely nuts. Like this is, and that was another thing too, is their blocking really improved. Like the difference from the first set in which Trentino won to the rest of the match was their blocking as well.
Yeah, serving is another one for me. So Perugia's serving lineup, just 1 through 6. Now Zopolari is a non-factor, but normally they've just got arms on arms on arms from the baseline, and 9 aces to 19 errors for Perugia, 1 ace to 12 errors for Trentino. That's 8 break points in difference. That's crazy.
But like when I look down their roster right now, other than Micheletto, they don't really have anyone who really scares me on the baseline. Like
Lavia and Gabi are good on their respective days, but and Koza Marinik when he chooses to be aggressive, but like not the same as like Bentara, Ishikawa, Plotnitsky. Gianelli when he plays. Loser's serve is pretty good. Russo's serve is good, and then you have Herrera off the bench. Like, just, it's crazy, the weapons.
Yeah, it is nuts.
It's remarkable. And, like, Trentino, kind of like we've always said about this iteration of Trentino, is that their play style, similarly to the Italian national team, is to exude control. When Trentino's in control, they bend the game to their pace, and they are the ones dictating how everything is going. And in the first set, that was the case. Then Perugia's identity is to be explosive. And the rest of the match, they were explosive.
They're just explosive, and they're very... aggressive, and they're very assailant. I don't know if that's the way, right? But they're just always trying to attack.
Yeah,
they're always attacking.
Aggressive is a word that gets overused, but like we mean it here.
No, yeah, they just the way that they play. They've got a very aggressive posture when everything that they do. Whereas
the thing that I really want to talk about is just how good of a coach Angelo Lorenzetti is. He's won 2 Scudettos in a row now with 2 completely different teams.
2 completely different teams. And you know what? I think you got to give credit to, because Cerci hasn't been around. He hasn't been like, in the locker room and stuff. As far as we know, maybe like Perugia fans and stuff will know different, but there's been none of these stories. And like, hey, he's been able to get it done.
Yeah. Good for Perugia. They are currently the best team in Italy and very possibly the best team in the world, because as we'll talk about in a little bit, there are no longer any undefeated teams in Poland.
No longer any other undefeated teams. And you know what? No, right now I'd it's not even a debate for me.
Perugia.
Just give Perugia number 1.
Yeah. Let's talk about the rest of the Superlega. The one game, the first game on Sunday that a lot of us were watching in the Discord was one that I myself called dead wrong, because Allianz Milano went up 1-0, and they were up, I think, 9-2 in the second. And I called hour and a shower. I thought the match was over. Credit to Verona, man.
No, credit to Nomori Keita. Credit to Nomori Keita. This man, holy shit.
Awesome.
This man, with that serving run in the second, where they went from 9-2 to like basically 9-9 in no time at all because of his tenacity from the baseline, his absolutely dynamic approach is unreal. Like, so unreal. He is so dynamic and so good, and he just has the ability to take over matches emotionally. Like,
I love him. I really love him. The best part about this is he switched positions in the middle of the match. In the middle of the match, they made the change that we were asking for.
Dude, he's just...
And yes, Berkay, I know about the interview with Stoichev when he said that when Mozic comes back, then they're going to move Keita to the right side. I don't care. Your team is better. Verona is better in the way that they finished this game, which was with Keita on the right side and Zavaronok and Francesco Sani on the left side. Francesco Sani is more useful on the court than Mads Jensen.
Oh, yeah.
So put Keita on the right. Zavaronok and Sani will hold it down on the left until Mozic gets healthy.
If you have a lineup of Mozic and Keita, honestly, you just run high balls.
It's
you
awesome.
Just let the boys. You just run high boys and let the boys rips.
And at that point, they don't even need to pass the ball, which has always been Stoichev's thing. There's going to be so gnarly in out of system offense. Keita had 31, dude.
31.
I mean, the efficiency wasn't great.
No,
15 errors total.
Dude, yeah,
28 for 54 and 3 aces.
He has more errers and more kills than he does continues. He only had 9. He only has like 9 continues
that right
in the
there,
match.
That's an opposite, baby. You cannot put a terminal play like that on the left side. You can't do it.
It's like only 9 times throughout the match did he not terminate the play, like which is hilarious.
Awesome. I love it. I love it so much.
Like, hey, like safety's off, boys. Let's go.
Let's go.
Like that's all I want from Nomori Keita. And there's times too where he's running over the bench to like chest bump with Rock Mozic. Yeah, he's flying away, which is I think it's like that must be from Mali where he's from, which is dope.
Every time he posts any clip on Instagram, the caption is 3 eagles.
Yeah,
which I'm all about. I think it's great.
Yeah, I love it. So Mads Ked Jensen finally showed who he is. He was 1 for 8 and got blocked. He at least got a block, but he's just not a Superlega. Like the fact that they've kept him around just to have him in the gym is ridiculous.
It's remarkable. I truly don't understand it. Berkay says we need more signature celebrations in volleyball.
We absolutely do. We 100% do.
Absolutely. So, dude, this is potentially a season-defining win for Verona for me, honestly. Like they're down 9-2 in the second. Like it really felt to me like an hour in a shower. It really felt like Milano was going to run away with this game, and practically on Keita's back from that service run in the second, just like you said. I honestly think they might have like changed their own self-identity and the volleyball team that they are in making that comeback and winning that match.
I mean, I think that's a big claim, but
it's early. But
no, but the thing is that Verona in the past few years has had these wins early. They get wins. They get big wins in October and November, and then they don't get those wins in March.
It's a good point.
So I just want to see how they're able to do, right? I do think that Nomori Keita is the perfect fit for Verona, though, because he's just that like edginess and recklessness that just works so well with him.
I'm looking at Milano's numbers. I mean, it was Paulo Porro that went on that big run in the second, wasn't it? Like early in the second to give him that big lead, I think.
I think so too.
And I mean, Rager's pretty good, 18 points.
George Schnitzer with 5 blocks.
Good, 5 blocks.
Which is funny because I know a lot of you little Muppets in the Discord were saying that he'd never be able to play in the Superlega.
We got a lot of haters out there. Right into the camera, right into the windows of their souls.
Why not?
Missed opportunity for Milano. I think I just don't love their roster construction. I think their outside hitter position is a bit of an issue.
Yeah.
Matej Koziski is old, dude. Father Time's undefeated, and it's catching up to him right now.
Yeah. No, definitely it is. And, I mean, Daz Veronik and Keita were on the other side. We're just
How old is Keita? Is he like 22?
He's pretty young.
He's got to be really young. We'll look that up on Volleybox in a minute.
Keita. Malian volleyball player. He's at
2001.
He's at 2001, so he's 23. He's still a baby.
Wow. Yeah, very, very impressive. Yes, Paulo Porro is an underrated server. Kid's a good athlete. That's a pretty gnarly volleyball family.
Just a good volleyball family.
Good volleyball family. All right, what else Superlega-wise? Toronto beat Gratazzolina on Saturday. I don't really care.
No. Brody Hofer had a pretty decent one on that too, if I remember.
How about Piacenza having to claw back to beat Padova in 5? You see this?
Yeah, because you have Eros Kovacevic, who sucks.
He actually didn't play.
I know.
Mar had a pretty gnarly option ball set out of the BIC. You see that?
I did see that.
Was pretty slick.
That was pretty nice from Steve. Really enjoyed that.
The thing was that Yuri Romano was Yuri Roma. No.
He was Romano.
He got the yank earlier than maybe I've ever seen him get the yank.
I kind of like that though, because Romano, you can tell.
You can tell real quick whether or not he got off the bus. I agree.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bovalento was okay.
Yeah, it's really interesting that they're playing for the same team because they're basically playing for the same spot. It's like which of you is going to be the below level Italian opposite who's going to have to pull out a massive performance for the team to be good at the next Olympics. Because although I feel bad for Romano because he actually did play well at the Olympics.
He was really good at the Olympics.
And it was Gianelli that shit the bed. And Fife, but that's for another day.
That is for another discussion. Yeah, Mar, Mondraccia, both 17. You have... I want to reinforce the idea to maybe a new audience of the definition, Everett, of a Robert Landy Simone stat line, because we saw one in this game.
Oh, did we?
We did. We saw 13 points on 7 for 9 attacking, no errors, 4 blocks, 2 aces.
Filthy.
That is the Robert Landy Simone stat line, and I was wondering the same thing that the chat is wondering: is Tricycle Man going to play for the national team?
He should. But then again, I've lost all faith in Fife to be a good coach.
Ouch. Those last 2 matches of the Olympics were that bad for you, eh?
No, because it was everything leading up to it. It's the fact that you didn't play Spertoli once.
Free him.
It's that once throughout the quad that you had quality players like Rinaldi and Botero and these other guys that you've just kind of wasted. Like, you could have developed those guys, right? And instead, you've brought the guys from the get-go and just rode them like Seabiscuit.
Yep.
Just nonstop.
Oh, no. Somebody just said one of the forbidden names in the chat.
What are we dealing with?
Yeah, you have to see it for yourself. I want to see your reaction.
Kick him out. Get rid of him.
We do not name drop Giulio Pinali on this program.
Yeah, we do
not do that. Credit to Luca Porro, by the way, 22 points. Padova is always just they're a good franchise.
Yeah,
it's a shame they just don't have money, man. If Padova had money, they would be a routine contender with like the way that they build teams and develop players. But every time they build and develop a good player, he just gets signed by Lube or someone like that.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Like, I mean, think about it. Eric Lepke and Mattia Botolo were Padova's starting outsides like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And now they're both on Lube.
Yeah, and they had Rand on the same team.
That's right.
At one point, like, I'm pretty sure Taylor Averill started at Padova. Stephen Marr started at Padova. James Shaw.
Yeah, Averill, Marr, and Shaw were on the same team, I think.
I think so, maybe.
Maybe Shaw was a year or two later. But
no, Shaw and Marr were definitely on the same team.
Were they?
Yeah.
Good times.
But yeah, also Lube got a 3-dong on Sterna.
So they did a convincing one.
A convincing one. Their offense was actually buzzing. Lepke was 10 for 17. He was pretty filthy with that.
Gunja was great.
Bonifante actually looked smooth in this one. I didn't watch this one for that long, but Bonifante actually looked pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like middle of the road on my opinions on Bonifante. I think it's too early to say if he's good or if he sucks at the Superlega level, but he was definitely good in this game.
Yeah.
And another very important note, guess who's back, Everett?
Ooh.
Alex Nikolov.
Yeah, that's big.
Welcome back, young Bulgarian superstar.
I mean, I don't really like that, though, because then it's like you're picking between him and
Lepke because of the foreigner.
Although with how terrible Adas Lagumdzija has been this season, throw Nikolov on the right. Oh no, throw Lepke on the right, and then you rock you would be able to rock like a 3 outside hitter system.
The Monza thing.
Oh no, you actually could do that.
You could.
Yeah, because
it wouldn't be good. Now, Berkay is going to jump down your throat for saying that Lagumdzija has been bad this season. Lagumdzija has been very inconsistent.
Facts.
Very inconsistent. He was good this game.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
He was 11 for 20. He was really good.
You're good for against Chisterna.
Yeah, congratulations.
Whatever. Okay, sorry. I apologize.
I mean, Chisterna, if Teo 4 hits negative, you're screwed. You have no chance. He went 5 for 20 with 6 errors. 5 for 20 with 6 errors is bad.
Who's this?
4.
Oh, that's not great.
That's bad. And yep, Cisterna's going to lose.
Yeah. But honestly, like we know he's going to bounce back.
Yeah. He's a good player. Modena donged Monza and Everett. I've been saying that I'm going to withhold judgment on Monza until they get a little bit more complete. I think I might be ready to just say that they're not good.
They just don't have the talent on the left side to do the things. And Kachopa isn't necessarily a guy who's going to be able to, I think, in my opinion, I think he works really well with nice pieces, but he's not going to make average pieces look better.
I kind of agree with that. He also isn't as good of an out-of-system setter, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like I just look at this roster and it struggles, and yeah, it's just not great. Like Arthur has been terribly inconsistent as well too. 7 on 17 is all right, but when you make 5 errors, it's really going to cut down on things.
Dude, bad serving, but like my question this whole season with Monza is the outside hitter position, and it is a problem.
A massive problem.
They have it's a Jekyll and Hyde thing. They have 2 geriatric former Italian legends over the hill. Osmani Juantorena started this game. We actually saw him for the first time. He went 0 for 4. Like just couldn't terminate. It was Juantorena and then Luca Martilla, who's on the total other side. It's a young, high upside prospect from a lower level volleyball country. Martilla from Finland, then Eric Ruhrs from Germany. Martilla sucked in this game.
4 for 14 with 5 errors.
It's brutal. And then you basically do the total swap and you bring in Ruhrs and Zaitsev. Ruhrs was good, but it was too little too late and bad reception, and Zaitsev also couldn't score. So like, and then when you're chucking balls to Arthur and he makes a lot of errors, like you're gonna lose. You're gonna lose a lot of games until you figure out who your outside hitters are.
Yeah, I think both could. Like Arthur too is not like he needs quality around him
for sure.
Right?
Yeah, he can't shoulder. He can't be a Teo 4 like.
Which is also why we saw him be so good for Monza last year, and then once he went to the national team, he was maybe not as effective. On a clip that we would like, and I still have hope that he can still grow into that player. Like he's still relatively young.
Yeah.
But
and is still new to the position relatively as well.
Yeah, that's another thing to remember too.
But like Monza. And we saw, I think, a little bit of Taylor Averill in this game, and even he wasn't very good. So like,
it has to be expected though. You're coming back, and your first time. Monza's reception is absolute dog shit, and Kachopa.
The reception's bad.
Kachopa, honestly, might be less mobile than DeCecco.
Yeah, it's
a
bad combination.
And I don't know what it is about Kachopa. And it's just maybe my mental and all the apple juice we've been drinking recently. But like in my head, his legs are really short.
Okay. I don't.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, and it's just like he just waddles to balls really slowly.
Waddle is a good word.
Yeah, and it's just not that great. Which just sucks because like last year when you have like when they were in their bag last year when like ran like when Steven Marr is by far your worst passer, you're in a pretty decent spot because he might get ace, but he's gonna be like a pretty consistent like 2-level passer and the occasional 3. And Kachopa long torso confirmed.
It's kind of me. I have pretty short legs and a long torso.
Yeah. So yeah,
I relate.
He's just not that fast.
No, he's not. I think the writing was kind of on the wall about Monza based on their roster construction because to me it just doesn't really make sense. Here's a problem, Everett. 2 weeks from now, a certain major competition kicks off. It's the CEV Champions League.
Yeah, it's going to be the Polish teams and Perugia. That's it.
It's going to be so bad.
Yeah.
Milano and Monza?
Yeah, both teams took serious steps back. Serious steps back.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Still no Russian teams?
Still no Russian teams.
There are only 4 teams that I'm excited to watch, and it's the 3 Polish teams and Perugia.
Yep.
Yikes. Good job, Modena. You got a 3-donger. I didn't watch any of this game, so I don't know very much. Buchegar was fine. Rinaldi's strung together a couple good games in a row. Good for him.
Yeah. Imagine if he had been given time on the national team.
Jose Gutierrez, I'm pretty sure it was on his birthday. He was good. 6 for 7 on offense is nice. So, yeah, good job, Modena. And then what's the last one? I think that's it. I think we covered all the games.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's about it.
All right. Do you want to stay in Italy
do it.
And go to the women? Because the women's side was actually pretty spicy.
Yeah.
This weekend.
Got some intrigue.
The women's side actually had some intrigue. Starting with Busto Arsizio upsetting Scandici. And now Scandici just let go of their new coach, Stefan Antica, after... I'm pretty sure. Let me double check this as I pull up the standings. Scandici was 3-0 heading into this weekend. Fired their head coach in Stefan Antica because they couldn't go out and we've complained about this every year with Scandici, the fact that they just go out and get a whole boatload of foreigners that don't fit together.
They have no concept of how the foreigner limit works in their own
league.
Infuriating.
It's like they go to a puzzle store and they pick the nicest pieces of all the puzzles, but they don't pick enough border pieces. Like really simple shit.
It's crazy.
So yeah, Scandici lost to Busto,
and Busto also fired their coach and the GM in the middle of the week before this game. Is that true?
Oh my goodness,
I didn't see that. What is with all these coach firings in October, dude?
I love it
because we still haven't. I don't think we know officially if THY fired Zé Roberto yet or not.
I heard he was leaving.
Like he was walking away.
Yeah. But yeah, so Scandici went and lost to Busto Arsizio. Basically, the only person that showed up was Antropova for Scandici. I think she had 24 in this one, and essentially no one else showed up, which is great because they've got a star-studded roster and they can't figure out anyone. Let's see. Linda Nwakalor was 2 for 7 and started 3. She started 3 of the sets and ended with 2 points. That's terrible. Anna Karolina was 3 for 8, although she did have 5 blocks. Antropova was really good, 21 for 46. Lindsay Ruddens was 7 for 13, but then she got taken off. Britt Herbots was garbage, really 4 for 18.
Kara Bajima came in, negative efficiency. I mean, Scandici is a revolving door if they choose the combination of foreigners and Italians wrong on a given day, it's a train wreck. And then they just make all these. It's kind of like there have been Malonza teams that have done that in the past, but not a good look for Scandici under new management. I mean, we've seen the mighty power of the fired coach bump that you get in volleyball, but all sports. Like you fire your coach and you almost immediately win a game. Maybe Bustos was more powerful because they also fired their GM, so maybe that trumps it. But it wasn't a fired coach bump for Scandici; it was a fired coach slump. Tough.
Yeah, Josephine Obosa.
So Josephine Obosa, I was looking her up. I have never heard of her. She played for Casa Maggiore last year and Brescia the year before, who is a B-League team. So for her to drop 24 on 23 for 49 came very much out of nowhere, and I don't know how sustainable it is, but it's a damn good performance and a good win.
She's dropped 13, 16, and 9 so far. this season. This was by far her best efficiency on the year as well. So she might be someone that we can kind of watch for to be a potential breakout star here in the Lega Volley Femminile.
Interesting. Berkay brought it up, and a good point. For whatever it's worth, we don't need to spend much time on it, but the Women's Club World Championship was announced. It's in China. It's in Tianjin who's hosting it,
yes.
And it's really just Conegliano and Malonza. There's no Turkish teams.
Oh, no?
No. It's Conegliano, Malonza, 2 Brazilian teams, an Egyptian team, Tianjin, and then I think there's a Vietnamese team, which is a complete joke.
Bro,
it's bad.
Imagine if we actually respected this tournament and made it so that it was good.
It would be sick if we had any respect for it at all.
Let's put it in the new year and invite an all-star team from the NCAA to compete as the North American team. How, like...
Be sick.
You want to... Honestly, no, straight up. Like, you want to get North American eyes on like, have Karch's last thing for the U.S. women's team. I mean, this would be impossible to do. But just to, like, handpick his own all-star team of NCAA stars to go compete in the Club World Championships. Like,
I love it.
That's like
Absolutely
Disney.
love it.
That's like Disney movies. You know, that's like Mighty Ducks type
Yeah,
shit
it's
right
like
there.
Mighty Ducks or
You're
Miracle on
gonna
Ice.
go play.
Sort of,
You're gonna go play against Iceland.
Love it. I love it. I think that's a great. And you could do it on the men's side too. Get some either NCAA All Stars or have NCAA All Stars play against, like, or just like the best NCAA men's team play the U Sports winners, and the winner goes to the Club World Championship.
Yeah, that would be wild.
That'd be awesome.
That would be electric.
It'd be awesome.
We've seen it before.
Yeah.
Because before, the way they used to do it is that, like, Norseca would get a team, and it was like every year would rotate. That's how Trinity Western got to go the one
just,
year.
Like, go country by country.
Yeah, and like one year, like Paul Mitchell sent a team, and it was just like a ragtag team of like American dudes.
Random SoCal guys.
Yeah,
Oh,
so we need, you know what? Volleyball world, we need North American representation in the Club World Championships.
100%.
Right? We don't need multiple teams from Egypt. No offense, Egypt.
There's one team from Egypt, but the fact that there's a Vietnamese team.
One team's from Egypt, one team from Vietnam, 8 teams from Brazil.
Joke.
Yeah. Actually, if you win the second division in Brazil, you actually now qualify for the Club World Championships. That's part of the rules.
Is that true?
No.
Well, it might as well be. It might as well be. So Conegliano and Malonza are going to fly all the way to the other side of the world
to play each other.
Just to play each other in the final. Total waste of time.
Total waste of time.
Anyway, Lega Volley Femminile. Scandici blowing it is funny after the coach firing. What else?
Kiraly got a nice 3-2 win over. Maybe not nice. It shouldn't have necessarily gone this far. Omarui should have been better, but 31 points from Avery Skinner for Kiraly, 26 for 50 in attacking with 3 blocks and 2 aces.
Putting up volume, baby.
Putting up volume.
Love to see it. Her sister is balling in the NCAA as well.
Yeah, no, she really has. There could be a time, Rob, when there's a pair of Avery Skinners, a pair of Avery Skinner sisters.
There you go.
Apologize. Holding down the left side of the women's national team.
Yeah, very possible. Or put Maddie on the right, or maybe put Catherine Plummer on the right, both Skinners on the left. That whatever combination, there is firepower. There is firepower in the American mix right now. I love it.
It's firepower that the previous generation and teams haven't really had.
Not really.
Not from the left side.
No, exactly.
The Skinner sisters bring another level of left side power. Like, once again, they're using Avery like an outlet setter here.
Who's Kiraly's opposite this year?
Jiken.
Oh, the French girl.
Yeah, she was all right. She was 23 for 46. Once again, I love, for some reason, Kiraly. I see Kiraly come up on my feed on VBTV, and I'm like, yeah, I like this. I want to watch them. One of the things that I'm going to bring to attention is that, like, I don't need to scroll through every single A2 and A3 match.
Thank you.
We need to prioritize this shit.
Yes, the B League matches coming up first in VBTV has been a problem for a long time.
It has.
We'll fix that.
Well, we will fix that.
We'll fix that. I also saw that Malonza needed 5 sets to beat Cuneo. Now Malonza still doesn't have Paula Egonu.
Yeah,
but they're winning a lot of these games, but they're kind of bleeding away points as they're letting teams take them to 5 a little more often than they would probably like.
I don't really think they care.
I don't think they care, and honestly, I don't particularly care. Like until Egonu gets back, then we can't conclude really who they are yet.
As long as they finish second and third, which if Scandici's going to continue losing matches to Busto, then they'll be perfectly fine.
7 blocks though for Anna Denesi in 5 sets. Been I know I haven't watched games from every team yet, but looks like by far the best middle in the league early.
Yeah, although Lethal Barbie got 10 in 3 sets this weekend.
In Poland? Oh my God. That's in Poland. I mean, she can.
Oh, that's in Poland.
That's unfair. It's unfair for someone 6'7" and play in the Polish women's league.
Why?
Because she's too good.
I rate the Polish. Come on,
Tauron Liga.
We need to give a little bit more respect to the Tauron Liga. They need to win a little bit more of the Champions League.
That's what I'm saying.
We started respecting the Plus Liga once they started winning the Champions League.
Great point. Also, a good point in the chat. Very good Miriam Silla game. 20 for 40, only 2 errors.
Yeah, she's really had to put that team on her back.
And she's, carrying over from the Olympics, which was the best tournament we've ever seen her play.
This might have been the best stretch for Miriam Silla.
Big year for Miriam Silla.
Yeah.
Good for her, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else in the Lega Volley Femminile?
No, I think that's about it for the Lega Volley Femminile. It's actually been it's probably been, this week was a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, it's getting there. I like it. Real quick, we do not have Daddy Stankovic in this show because we don't have any assets because we're sitting here together. We can remind you that we have a VBTV promo code.
VS10.
Right, VS10. Links in the description, so go do that. Let's talk in Poland.
Yes, some big, arguably one of the biggest things in the volleyball world happened this weekend in Poland.
No more undefeated teams.
With Lublin falling to Warszawa. And you know what? Lublin didn't have their best match. You know what? Finn McCarthy, who's clearly their star, just wasn't playing at his level. And then once Finn McCarthy isn't playing good, then the entire team just crumbles.
See what happens when we film the show in Canada, boys and girls? You see what happens?
Yeah, I get cocky. No, but honestly, Linus Weber,
dude,
is
what is that guy been putting in his body?
Honestly, I think that he's just over there in Warszawa. I saw him. He was actually at an art show, a dance show, art show. And I think he's just soaking in the culture. He must have talked to Lozaire's barber because he's got the nice little frosted tips going on. And this dude is playing on another level. It's been a very small sample size over the past little bit that he's been this good. But if he can continue to be like this, then Germany might be relevant.
It's 2 games in a row now against good opponents.
Yeah.
That Warszawa has popped off on Linus Weber's back. And that's the most surprising part to me. They did it against Resovia in a 5-setter where Weber practically won the match serving in the 5th set. And then this one, 4-setter over a previously unbeaten team, 22 points, 16 for 28 with only 3 errors. That's 46% efficiency and 6 aces.
He was a weapon from the baseline.
It's crazy.
He was serving them tough. And you know what? Coming into this one, I was going to say that Lublin has been one of the most steady passing teams. Dude, they got aced 11 times in this one. 11 times. Their serve receive had broken down. Talis Hoss was getting aced. Benny Tweenstra was getting Tweenstra was passing notes here.
Benny Tweenstra had a really bad game. Really bad. Terrible reception, 5 for 17, 4 errors attacking. They broke him down.
Yeah.
Good job by Warszawa, honestly, picking on him as much as they did. Served him 20 balls. Aced it 4 times.
Yeah, I thought Leon was still pretty great.
Of course he was.
He was still really solid. Marcin Komenda, I think, really has just continued to be really, really good this year despite this result. 9 digs, 39 assists in this one. He's just really been steady for this team, and I've really liked it. Grozdanov continued to be one of the best middles, I think, in Poland, but really when you're looking at the Warszawa side of things, Linus Weber was fantastic. Arthur Schalpuk was real steady, and same thing with Kevin Tilley. Kevin Tilley he just goes out and does what he needs to be. He's like another libero for them out there.
Perfect L2.
Perfect L2, and I really liked this match from Warsaw. This was also a very entertaining match.
Yeah.
It was the best match for me to watch this weekend.
Serving 11 aces, 16 errors.
Yeah,
incredible,
wonderful.
Lublin 4-16, including 0-6 from Leon.
Yeah,
like if you have a terrible passing day and you're Lublin, you have to find a way to fight back with service pressure, and they just didn't have it.
No, they didn't.
Serving's volatile. Some days you don't have it. That's okay, but
and that's the thing too, is that Lublin still had their game in a lot of different, like their block defense is actually really basic, but it's really effective.
Yeah, it's rock solid.
So, this one was a really good one. It just shows, I think, with this result, when you look at some of the bigger results with Warszawa ending Lublin's run and then moving on to the next big one of Gdansk taking down Zawiercie, it just really shows you how even this Plusliga is this year. This one was another big one from Gdansk.
Man, I did not see this coming.
Me neither.
Like this particular,
I specifically didn't watch this match because I had no belief in Gdansk whatsoever.
This particular Gdansk team, I mean, we said it in the preview, we've said it kind of all season, like this isn't even a caliber of roster to make the playoffs, but boy, did they catch fire. I mean, old man Jakub Jarosz with 19. Jakub Czerwinski, who I know nothing about, 20. On 16 for 24, 50% efficiency. Like
Piotr Orshik with 17.
My goodness. I mean that's big games from all three of your wings. All three wings, 19, 17, and 20, and they hit 39% efficiency as a team, and Campo was just slinging it. I mean, that is impressive. Really impressive. Also, no way. Oh, it wasn't even Kampa. Okay, never mind. Kamil Droshinsky set the team.
I was going to say it wasn't Kampa.
Yeah, okay. That is very interesting. Mustafa Mbaye, 13 out of the middle. Awesome. Like, lightning in a bottle. Good for Gdansk. They beat a very good team. I wouldn't pick them to do it again.
Czerwinski is 23, but he looks like he's 17.
Oh, my God. He has a baby face.
He is a child. He is petit bébé.
Yeah, he's been in Gdansk for a minute, too. Good for him. Great game. Zawiercie side, Russell was good with pretty poor reception.
Yeah, he wasn't fantastic.
Good on offense. Good enough on offense. Butrin, fine, maybe not great. Waba started, not great. Kvolek came back in after injury, was pretty good, so it was good to see him back. Bieniek only played 3 sets, like 2.5 sets, so maybe just a sleepy trap game for Zawiercie, I guess.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about Zawiercie, even though this is kind of their second big loss of the year. Who did they lose to?
They lost to Lublin early.
They lost to Lublin, and they lost to Warszawa. They got 3 down by Warszawa. So
okay. Oh yeah, I remember that game. I remember watching that game. Warszawa was.
But no, I'm not overly worried about the Zawiercie team.
No, I'm not either. Honestly, they're still my pick to win the Plusliga. I still really like the way that they're constructed.
Yeah, I mean, Zawiercie, it's between, I think the 4 teams have to be JW, Zawiercie, Warszawa, and Lublin.
For sure, and Resovia is not in that conversation right now. Even though I did want to touch on their game a little bit. Resovia 3-donged Olsztyn.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty at first. It wasn't. That first set was real tight, and Olsztyn was like really running with them. And then I started talking shit in the Discord, and then they obviously heard it and started playing better.
We need to have a conversation about Olsztyn and the R word.
It's maybe a little early. Let's see how it goes. If at Christmas time they're still in this position, then we can bring up that conversation.
The R word?
It's October.
It is October, but they already fired their coach.
Yeah, but exactly. So we'll see. The thing is that with that race, you can save your season with 1 or 2 matches.
Not when 3 teams are getting relegated.
Maybe. You'll see.
Olsztyn is 1-7.
Losing Olsztyn would be a big blow.
It would be a huge blow for the league.
Big blow for the league.
And I like their roster other than Hadrava.
There's no way that you could say that he is the problem. There's no way.
It looks like he actually didn't even play in this game.
By the way, Gorjov is looking to send it to 5 right now.
Oh, yeah, we got a game on right now.
Yeah, Lviv
I mean, Cupram's got to beat.
Oh wait, no, never mind. Go. Cupram is up 2-1.
Okay, good. Yeah, you can't drop a point against Sparkholm.
They traded 25-20s in the first two, and then it was 26-24 for Cupram, and now they're up 11-5.
That's a game. Might need to turn that on. Hydrava didn't even play in this game, as far as what I can see. But I mean, they're missing their starting setter. Oh, you got it. You gonna put on the TV over there?
Yeah.
Beauty. Got a little volley in the background. 20 for Bednorj in 3 sets.
Yeah, he was real dominant in this one. There was a moment, I think, like in the first set, they were hovering around 22s, both these teams, and this is when I started talking shit in the Discord. And then clearly my good friend Thomas Samuvuo heard me, and because he's obviously in the Discord.
Yeah. While he's coaching games.
The fact that you guys have no idea who's in the Discord. There's wild people in the Discord.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
If we
don't change anything, don't act any differently. But there are people in the Discord.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, we talked a little bit about strength of schedule last week, Rob. In terms of like, there's been teams like Skra who have had super easy strength of schedule. There's been teams like Resovia who have had a terrible strength of schedule, and so maybe this is a chance for Resovia to kind of like go get over that hump.
Ooh, Gorzuv's up 11-5 in the fourth.
Yeah, they've had Chizoba to really run them. Chizoba's been a top 5 scorer in the league, I think he's like 7th at scoring, but we'll see how he is at this match.
Last game that happened, Suwałki beat Nissa in 4. I didn't watch any of this.
No, was that today?
It was a couple days ago.
No, JW played earlier today.
Yeah, they beat Skra, right? In 4?
They beat Skra in 4.
That was while I was in the air.
I was in
my
meetings.
boy David Dulski, who I like a lot, dropped 20 for Stahl, but they did lose.
Jury's still out for me on Dulski.
Yeah, you're not quite as high on him as I am. That's fair enough. Let me look at those JW Skra stats really quick before we move on. See if there's anything to talk about. Amin 22.
Amin has continued to be. I think he's the top scorer. He's the best scorer per sets. He has the highest points per set in the Plusliga so far this year.
That wouldn't surprise me. Pretty low efficiency though, just 26%. 8 errors total, and then
what?
Guess who popped off for JW today? Haters. Guess who it was? Put it in the chat. Those of you who watched, tell me who was second on the team in scoring for JW. Who was it, Everett?
Ryan Sclater.
Luciano Vicentine.
Oh, really?
16 points, 10 for 18 with 5 aces.
5 aces for Vicentine is nice.
Fornal 17, 14 for 23, 52% efficiency. So people were hating on me last week because I said that Aaron Russell might be the MVP of the league. Obviously, I was popping off because he's American. It's between Leon and Fornal. And Fornal, with another just masterclass today, I think right now, he's probably the guy.
I did. So I put this up to TikTok a few weeks ago.
Ooh.
And I asked people on the.
Oh, yeah. We have to film some TikToks while I'm here.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot about that.
Okay. Well, we're going to go for lunch or for dinner, not for lunch, for dinner after this. And we'll go continue drinking apple juices,
apple ciders.
And we'll make some TikToks after that for sure.
Yes.
But I asked the good people of TikTok who the best players in the world were. And other than the incessant Ishikawa and Rand comments, the most consistent ones were Micheletto, Fornal, and Klevno. Which, like,
good list, man.
I actually kind of rate that.
Yep.
I actually kind of rate that. And on any one of those, you can put any, like any night, you can put any other one of those guys in. But Fornal has that thing to push it. And he's really, think about like Fornal when he was playing for Poland back in 2022 in VNL and Ottawa, and it just seemed like he was like Gerbich was really trying to cultivate him back then. And it's really
he was kind of
off.
like the leader of the B team at that point.
Yeah. But he also just kind of acted like he was like a little like too cool for school, and I think like he's matured a little bit since then.
He's got the I don't know how to say it except that he's got some kind of it factor, and when he plays, he's just the guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy.
And swag.
I love it so much. I hate that he basically turned the game around to beat me in the Olympic Games. That sucked, but like I have so much respect for him because he's the guy. He's a magnetic volleyball player. And yes, he acts like he's too cool for school, but not to the Irvin Ingapet degree that it comes off as lazy. It just comes off like as a little overconfident, and I'm here for it.
It's different now than it was. Like I think he's gotten over that, and I think that's why he's been back-to-back Plus League MVPs.
He did not win last year. That was Huber. But
really?
he did win 2 years ago, and his team wins the league basically every year, at least lately. And yes, great point in the chat by our boy Jemmy Robbins here. Zerot Bank, Trevor Cleveno, not in Champions League. Another good team, not in Champions League.
Champions League
It's gonna suck, dude.
year, boys.
It's gonna be a bad year, yo.
We'll give those matches to Clayton.
Yeah, we'll talk about Champions League in a couple weeks. That's it for Poland. What else happened in volleyball this week?
JVA.
Oh, Japan. Thank you.
Or SV League. SV League.
SV League. I didn't watch any.
A few things. I've actually been watching some Japan stuff.
Okay.
Because I'm a bit of an insomniac.
Are they on like Volley Station or
no? So, but if you go, like, you need to be able to have
Translate.
like it's if you just research SV League.
Our boy Kenny Diaper, who's a rock star in the Discord, he sent me a bunch of stuff on the SV League, including the stats page. Here it is. I just have to be able to translate it in order to find stuff.
Kenny. Oh, that's exactly.
That's exactly what you've got.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. I was going to be like, bro, you're sending him? Yeah, you already know that I had it. So there's a few teams in terms of North Americans. There's a few teams that you're going to want to be watching. First and foremost, Rob, you'll like this. Osaka Blution, which used to be Panasonic.
Formerly Panasonic.
That's Lopez. That's Jeshki. That is
Miura.
No, Nishida.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
Miura's with
Nishida.
Falco, yeah. So they beat Nagoya.
Okay.
The Wolf Dogs, and that is Tine Ernout and Namir playing on that team. So they beat them 3-2, and then 3-1. Looking at Jeshki's numbers have been so good offensively. He was 15 for 23 in the first match.
In Japan?
In Japan.
That level of, like, to terminate like that is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he was 15 for 23 with one error, and Nishida was 23 for 39, and Miguel Lopez was 14 for 27 with 3 aces. In a 5-set match, Osaka Blution.
Close enough.
Only 6 errors.
Wow.
Yeah. Now blocks, they don't count blocks in Japan. That's
as errors.
Yeah, that's a different stat.
That's too bad.
Once again, another reason why we need to homogenize stats across everywhere.
That is a goal of mine.
Yes. We can discuss that tonight, actually.
Yeah, we should.
Where do you want to go for dinner? You want to go somewhere?
You live here, man. You
we'll
take me. I'm along for the ride.
We'll see if Dan is actually available.
Yeah, we might have be able to reconnect with a very special friend of ours tonight, which we're looking forward to.
So yeah, that was night 1. Osaka 3-2 over the Wolf Dogs in Nagoya, and then on night 2 is a 3-1 win for Osaka. Thomas Shiesky 13 for 23, so still pretty damn good.
Love
on that. Oh, so sorry, that's only front row. They do a whole different other stats for back row too. So he was 13 for 23 in the front row, and he was 3 for 3. Whereas Yuji Nishida,
let me see that.
Like look at the stat sheet. It's the attack and then inside attack blocks.
Do they have total points somewhere?
No, they don't even have total points.
Japan, figure it out.
Come on, Japan.
So I was looking at this the other day, but in a window where I couldn't translate it. So I was just trying to use context to figure out what the columns were about. And there's no wonder I couldn't figure it out because they don't have scoring and they separate by front row and back row attacking. That's crazy.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do
that? The other big North American results to look at is JTech. Which is TJ DeFalco, Miura, and Lucarelli.
Who I think is injured at the moment.
Yeah, I think so too. Both their matches against Sakai Blazers, which is Shawan Vernon-Evans and Luciano Polonsky. They won the first match 3-0. It was a 3-dong, and it was because TJ was good in this one. He was 15 for 33 in the front row, 2 for 3 in the back row.
Can't believe they separated like
with
that.
An ace, and also a serve receiving, not too bad. And then the second one was a 5-setter. TJ didn't have a good game. He was 7 for 25 in the front row and 1 for 6 in the back row, which once again was wild.
Did they win the match though?
They did win the match.
Wow.
Kento Miyaura was 20 for 39 in the front row and 10 for 20 in the back row.
Wow.
So, and he had 7 aces.
Whoa.
So Miyaura scored 37.
Damn.
Right? Score 20, score 10, score 7.
How about blocking? Anything there?
Oh, and 2 blocks.
Oh my God.
So
39? If you drop 39 points, you got to get Volleyball World on covering that immediately. They probably
no, yeah, I know. MJ's actually on that shit.
MJ knows. She's aware. That's great to hear. My goodness, that's really, really impressive. Wow.
That's the highest total we have all year.
I haven't seen
39.
39 in a men's game.
Yikes, Miyaura. He was in the French league last year.
When you put it that way. That's remarkable. Good for him, man. That's an awesome performance.
Yeah.
How's Shawan? 20, 24, 27.
He's all right.
28 points in 5 sets.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sure.
He's been a consistent scorer in that league now for a few years.
It's good to see.
Berkay
wanted me to talk about Ziraat Bank versus Fenerbahce men's. I won't say I watched this game, but Ziraat Bank won 3-1.
He's the one who got so mad at us in the Discord last week after not knowing certain things from Turkey matches.
We haven't watched any games.
And then we will say, yeah, we didn't watch these games, then gets mad at us for not watching the games.
Berkay, do you have any idea how much volleyball there is to watch? And do you have any idea all the other things that Everett and I are both doing? We've got lives, bro. We're covering everything we can. We're doing the best we can over here. I have not watched any Turkish League games this week. So I'm going to acknowledge the scores.
I'll be very honest. I probably I'll watch Turkish games if on the off chance they're on YouTube.
Yeah, and the good teams are playing each other.
But with everything being on VBTV now and doing beach events and stuff like that, yeah,
it's tough, man. We have lives. Deal with it.
When the good Turkish teams play each other, I will pay attention.
Yeah, same.
So it's every 3 weeks or so.
And I don't even know if I classify Fenerbahce as that good of a team on the men's side.
Who do they have?
They have Fabian Zizga. They have Drazen Luberic. They have Maysam Salehi, who I like. They have an outside hitter called Yasin Aydin. And they have middles that I don't know. So they're not interesting to me. You think I wanna watch Fabian Zizga? No. I will say that Ziraat was really good. Anderson was good. Kleveno was unbelievable. 52% efficiency.
Ziraat Bank is Kleveno and Anderson, and they're not going to be in the Champions League?
And Bedirhan Bulbul had 9 blocks in 4 sets.
Ooh.
That's sick. So good for him.
Still not as good as Lethal Barbie.
Lethal Barbie is if Mazursky was 7'6". The way she is on a women's side, it's outrageous. I'm looking at Sultan Ligi's scores, and I just don't really see anything, man. Fenerbahce donged at Zadjabasha, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the SV League is something that I've started to watch a lot more this year. Sultan Ligi probably won't happen.
It'll happen when the good teams play each other, but even this weekend, it wasn't on my radar because, as we learned last week, Arina Fedorovtseva is in China right now and not even playing in the Turkish League yet. And Fenerbahce beat them anyway.
Yeah.
Vargas 20 for 31. She's unstoppable. By the way, I will put this on the record right now. Melissa Vargas is better than Tiana Boskovic. Straight up, end of conversation.
Okay.
They're both in that Elite Four. Melissa Vargas is better than Tiana Boskovic, straight up.
Okay. Right now, I can't really debate that.
That's my only take on the Sultan Ligi right now. That's literally it. because, like I said, I haven't watched it, and if I talk about games I haven't watched, and you guys jump all over me for it, so
I think that's about it, though.
Is that a show?
That's a show. We've gone for about an hour and a half here. We talked about a lot of random things.
Talked about a lot of things.
Is there anything else in this world? I have not been paying attention to like Germany. I've been minimally paying attention to France, just like whatever comes across my Instagram feed.
Same.
Once I settle into my job a little bit more and I'm not traveling as much in the new year, then I'll be able to settle in, I think, and watch some more.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, as we talked about earlier in the show, we have a lot going on right now. I mean, the reason I'm in Toronto right now is for my real job.
Your real job.
It has nothing to do with volleyball. I just happen to need to be here and get to hang out with Everett and spend some good time. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And we have a lot going on. So it's been fun to be in person. It's been fun to talk ball and enjoy some apple ciders. We're going to continue to do so off camera for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, maybe go meet up with Dan.
Would love to.
Dan might take us on a tour of the
Scotiabank.
Of Scotiabank, the ACC.
That would be awesome.
Which is where the Raptors and where the Leafs play. So
yeah, I'm
gonna go take Rob on the Toronto subway. Hopefully we don't get stabbed.
Sweet, that's exactly what I need. Come into your friendly country to the north. And
I was telling my like friends from like Brazil and Argentina and stuff like that about like Toronto and Canada, and they're like, what? Like they had this like idea that like Toronto is this like utopia place, and I was like, trust me, like I guarantee
it's a big city, just like your big city.
I guarantee you, we're gonna walk out these doors and there's gonna be crackheads right there.
Probably. I can't wait for you to go to Rio. I can't wait to hear about it. Cannot wait to hear about it.
Yeah, I'm stoked. I leave for Rio.
Yeah, what's your itinerary?
I leave on Thursday night. I leave on Halloween, so I get there in the afternoon on Friday. And I have nothing scheduled until at least Monday. On Sunday, some of my friends that I've made from the CBV, from the Brazilian Federation, are going to be getting back to Rio because there's actually like a CBV retreat that weekend, and they're going to all go into it. But they're getting back on Sunday, and they're going to take me out.
Hell yes!
So I got Caio and some of those Brazilian boys are going to take me out, and I'm.
Did you drink any cachaça when you were in João Pessoa?
I did have some cachaça.
Cachaça is nasty.
Why? It's like vodka.
I did not like it. I had two Brazilian teammates in college that got us really drunk. Maybe it was just my bad experience. My two Brazilian teammates in college got us really drunk on cachaça one night.
Cachaça just like.
But then I had a caipirinha, like the cocktail, and it's very good.
Oh, I was crushing caipirinhas.
Yeah, I was about caipirinhas.
I had 3 caipirinhas on the day that we left because we had a 12-hour layover in Sao Paulo, and me and one of the ops people, we went into the city and met up with a friend of his, and then just like went around for a little bit. Ended up having sushi in Sao Paulo, which was surprisingly really good.
Cool.
And crushed some caipirinhas. Then we went to the airport and crushed some. So
the best thing about you working for Volleyball World, and hopefully me soon, is that we're going to be at so many more things that we're going to have hilarious stories about.
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's why I'm pretty interested to see what happens, because like I'll be in Rio just for a few days by myself. So if you're a Brazilian fan of ours, give me some tips.
Yeah, for real.
Let me know what's up.
We've got a couple Brazilians that listen to
and
the
like
show.
It sucks because I don't think of all the teams that play out of Rio, I don't think any of them are playing that weekend for Superlega for like Brazilian matches.
That's too bad.
I am kind of considering just maybe flying to another city to go check out a match on like Saturday or something.
Cool.
Just to
the world is your oyster, my friend.
Because I'm literally Volleyball World now, so I can just go and like request
credentials. Yeah, you can go anywhere.
Yeah, I can literally just go
Hell
anywhere.
Yeah. All right, people, we love you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being our fans. We appreciate you very much. Keep active, keep engaged, get in the Discord. Everett will be out in Brazil next week. We'll try and find time and do a show while you're down there. But
I think like if we can do one like Monday night, it would be the best, because Tuesday night we're going to a football match.
Oh, sick.
We're going to a football match at the Maracana. So
oh wow,
yeah.
Even I, the truest and utterest hater of soccer, would love to do that.
Yeah,
love to experience that.
Exactly. So we're going. I'm bringing Alex too.
Oh,
because that's the day he gets in.
Love it. Shout out our boy Alex. Thank you, people. Join the Discord. We will. Oh, there's Alex in the chat. we will let you know how it's going to go with the show next week. But everybody wish Everett and Alex there a great time in Rio. And you all enjoy your week and your weekend. Send us, if you have any volleyball-themed Halloween costumes, post pictures in the Discord.
I won with mine last year.
Oh, your Piazza costume? It was all time. All time. I love the video of us showing the costume to him is incredible. One of the best moments of VNL, and there were a lot of good ones.
There was, yeah, but that was all time showing him showing him Piazza. All right, bye everyone. We're gonna go drink more apple juice.
Love y'all.
Maybe a burger or two.